All right, hope you're well. I'm trying out a new bit of recording as my recording software as my original is just not working and I want to get this video out. So it's currently Wednesday the 3rd of March and I just want to simply go over the three trades that I've taken today. So they're dollar CAD short, the euro yen long times two, and the first one was a loss. So I just want to be as transparent as possible and kind of say what I'm seeing for what I was seeing for the trades and take it from there. So start with dollar CAD. That was the first trade I took this morning. So start on the higher time frames. Yesterday bearish, but I'm aware that there could be buyers around the lows of yesterday, which in first target was the origin of the pullback in the 15-minute for my trade, but then the main target was the lows of yesterday. So then going into the 4 hour, what you can see is a 4 hour break and retest area. So was support, I had it as potential retest area. Last 4 hour at the time was a sideways bullish candle, not very much body to it, not very much momentum, and the 4 hour 50 was just above price. We go into the 1 hour, and the 1 hour had the strong impulse yesterday afternoon, pull back in Asia session, sideways was struggling to really get another push to make a new high, and basically I saw that price close beyond in this candle here, 7 to 8, close beyond this support. So I was just essentially looking for a pullback to then look for an entry back down to the bodies of the low, then the ultimate low of the day, and then my kind of main target was the low of yesterday. Just as basically impulse back up, but correction, break, 1 hour break and retest area, selling high, not my stop loss wasn't protected by the highs of the day, but it wasn't that far off of the highs of the day. And obviously, previous day was bearish, and we were in a 4 hour area that was a retest area, and we also had this retest area as well. And we saw this break of structure from there, which then made me feel as if it was worth the trade. So 15-minute, again, EMA was above price, so I like that. This is a continuation trade, so EMAs were above price, nothing really in its way, and I saw the quarter to 9 o'clock candle close. And then, if you can see on the 5-minute, you can see here that we had the stochastic overbought. So I was liking the fact that we were in a 15-minute break and retest area. We were in a 1 hour break and retest area. I've already gone over the 4 hour and the daily. This is like time frame by time frame, everything just lining up that just then says to me, right, okay, it's worth a trade. So I saw the start of, this was the end of the 1 hour. I saw the start of this 1 hour, 9 till 9:05. I like this candle off the 5-minute 50 in an overbought area. I felt as if this push down had got into an area that was back below this original resistance. We came back down, closed, and then pushed back up. Bearish candle. I was happy to enter below the lows of that at 1.2619 with my stop loss above the highs at 1.2627. I gave price a couple of pips above this high here just for spread and kind of wicks, etc. And that was essentially the trade because that was the high of the last 1 hour whenever I got in. Now the last 1 hour was bullish, but to me, it was a deep pullback that I was quite happy to take the trade and then just see how price reacted at the body at the open / low of the range of the last 1 hour. That was basically the trade. Set an alert around there at 1.2612. So it was just below a 1-to-1 by that point, and then yeah, got the push through down into make the new lows. I took most of my profit at 1.2604, and then got a bit more, just came off as price pushed down, and yeah, that ended up being the first trade of the day. Here's my notes that I write down in my kind of physical notepad. So it was US dollar CAD, 4 hour break and retest area, 1 hour break and retest. My main target was low of yesterday slash new low of the day, and the stochastic on the 5 minute was overbought. That's my notes. So let's now go to Euro Yen. Euro Yen. It's not really a pair that I trade too often. One of the guys that I work with brought it to my attention, and I quite liked what I was seeing in terms of the potential for longs. So previous day, pretty strong bullish, and we're in an uptrend, but we are coming into this daily resistance, which in hindsight, maybe I should have taken more caution around in regards to my first entry. It could have been something that stopped me from getting in so high as what I did, but I felt as if the trade that I entered was fine. I didn't push it. I'll actually show you another point that I was looking at a possible entry, but I didn't get in. And then the loss, and then the trade that has won, and I'm still in. So 6 till 10 candle. This purple zone is the most recent high at the end of last week. So we came in there, basically took out the highs, or came into the highs, and the 6 till 10 was a strong bullish candle. 9 till 10, strong bullish. I thought, right, break and retest area on the 1 hour makes sense for a trade. So 6 till 10 candle, strong bullish. I was originally looking for basically a pullback, and then I saw this area from the 2 till 6 a.m. I saw that as a potential break and retest area as well, for like that immediate momentum move that I was expecting, just a quick pullback and push. So if I go into the 1 hour like full screen, you'll be able to see that was my support. I'll just make it blue. They've changed the colors of the default for whatever reason on TradingView, and this was the resistance. Well, I'll just make it into the break and retest area that I saw. That was green. So I had a push beyond, close beyond, nice strong candle. Yes, it was making new highs of the day. And yeah, new highs of the week as well, actually. But yeah, I was happy to see if we could just get a pullback in the 10 to 11 and then kick off again. So coming into the 15-minute, this is where a lot of your kind of other people on YouTube would say, oh yeah, I got into this one, but I didn't get into this one. But it's the same pattern. And it's like, well, if you're not really differentiating why you didn't get into this one and why you did, then it doesn't really help yourself or others. So I basically saw this area here as a potential break and retest area. Well, it was a break and retest area, but a potential area that's support. Up at the wick again, bullish 15-minute candle. I was interested in potentially entering after this 5-minute candle. Now, this candle here closed beyond the resistance, and a lot of people would say that they entered. And I was looking for an entry. I had an entry around the highs of this 5-minute candle. So the next candle closed bearish back within these original wicks, and that then made me say, right, well, it looks as though it's come back into the range. Let's see how it reacts at these lows, or if it then pushes up higher, I could then look for a re-entry if it made sense. So that was that was that. That was the kind of missed. Well, wasn't a missed trade, but it was kind of it was there. It was bearish, and then this closed beyond bullish, and the stochastic as well kind of stopped me because it was only halfway. So I was like, well, this could pull back further if it wanted to, and not before it starts to go higher. Now, whenever it's in the kind of 50 area, that to me is almost like a break and retest of structure. Whenever it's back at the 50 area of a stochastic, whenever it's in a strong trend, it can just be like, well, it can't go all the way back to overbought or oversold. So in the kind of middle area, you could see that as enough of a pullback if the higher time frames are saying to you that it makes sense. But anyway, I didn't take this trade. So my first entry, the reasons it was longs from 1 hour support at lows of the last strong 4 hour candle. Expectation of the trade was back to the high of the day at the time of entry. So the support that I'm talking about is cancel this support here, this blue line that was created here. So I entered at the lows of this area here on price, basically on price, because at the time we were below the lows of this 1 hour candle. I felt that even if price did just want to go sideways for an hour or whatever, I was quite happy to do that, because I take a 2 hour gap usually in the day, in the middle of the day, just to do other things and have a reset moment before I get back to the charts. So yeah, I entered on price, and I'm quite happy to do that. I don't always need to wait for confirmations because I'm entering at areas that make sense in the higher time frames. So I'm happy. The 4 hour at the time as well, we were back at the lows of the 6 till 10 strong bullish candle. So to me, 1 hour support structure, lows of the last 4 hour bullish candle. To me, I'm expecting at least some kind of reaction, and that 4 hour bullish candle broke structure. It broke structure to the upside. It broke and closed beyond the resistance that was created by the 2 till 6 candle. So it's not even a bullish 4 hour candle within an immediate range. It's a 4 hour bullish, strong bullish candle close that is closed beyond the immediate resistance that was created by the last 4 hour candle. So I was quite happy to say, right, well, I'm getting in right at the lows here. My stop loss was 128.97, 128.97, and I was happy. I was happy to take the trade in and around this area with my stop loss at 1.2897, and yeah, that was the trade that obviously I got stopped out on. So then I was like, well, here's the low of the day from basically whenever we first opened. That's the low of the day at the time. To me, I was like, right, well, if this 1 hour support's not holding, do I really see any reason to go short? For me, no. For me, the impulse to the upside bullish is very strong. The more that we drop, the more that we're coming into an overextended area. We're counter trend to the overall higher time frames. Yes, we're in a daily resistance area, but we've not closed as a bearish candle or even a sideways bullish candle. So to me, I didn't see any reason to be going shorts. Now, obviously, it has moved in a very impulsive way to create that short movement from the support area that I entered in on. Basically, it was going sideways here. I entered below. It was below the original 1 hour support. I was then waiting for price to get back within the support, and I was looking for a push higher. But price came in, did what it wanted to do. Quarter to 1 o'clock took me out. So that was it. That was the trade. So then for my next trade, basically what I saw then was like, right, well, here is where price is going in a really strong impulsive move. And to me it was like I'm getting deeper and deeper into a hole that we should hit a trampoline to jump back out of, essentially, because of what the higher time frames are telling me. We were coming into a 4 hour break and retest area from this area, which also we tapped into this one as well. If I just show the 4 hour, and the previous day was bullish, trend was overall bullish. We'd broken structure to the upside on the 4 hour the previous days. To me, it just made sense to look for longs. So we actually tapped into this break and retest area and this one. We just whipped right into it in the 10 till 2. So I saw that, and I saw the 4 hour candle close, and it closed strong bearish. But I was like, well, it's strong bearish. I still think that it can go higher though, and my main kind of first target would be the break and retest area that was to the downside, that was created by that strong bearish candle. So as you can see, I'm just taking it candle by candle, creating the story, what's going on. Now, originally I was like, well, should I wait for the lows of this 4 hour bearish candle to be taken out or not? So basically, you can see here that we had the push down, strong impulse up on the 5 minute, breaking this structure from 1:15. We came back into it as a break and retest area. I saw this candle here at the coming towards the end of the 4 hour candle, and I thought, well, this to me is saying that it can go higher. Now we're having rejection. This is a nice candle here, nice bullish candle, sideways bullish, and then it tries to make a new low, and it can't. It holds a support, and then to me, that is when I looked for an entry. So we had this candle here. That was the last 5 minute of the 4 hour at the time. I entered at the lows of that candle, which was also the 5 minute support, which was also the break and retest of the 5 minute, and I put my stop loss below the lows of the day and the 4 hour. So at the time, the lows of the day was 128.739. Well, it says that on 128.739, but it's actually 100. Well, it says there 128.739. I put my stop loss at 128.71. So I wasn't like I gave it a couple of pips again. I'm more than happy to just give it a couple of pips. And my first management point was the 1 hour break and retest area, which I felt that what I was seeing. Well, my first management point was the previous lows of the day. I wanted to see price getting back above there, using that as support again, and then going higher. But to me, I feel that euro yen can go higher. I think it was just to do with the budget and pound news, etc., that just had this deeper pullback. Everything to me points higher, and that's why I was happy. Half my risk, but that's why I was happy to enter as we'd made a new low, and then I saw some real slowdown in the 15 minute, 5 minute break of structure, came back into that area, and then was like, right, well, this is it. Unless it's just going to keep on dropping, I think that this is where it can turn. So now we're basically back above this 1 hour support, which I originally bought from, which I think we can hold, and we can look for new highs tomorrow, depending on how the daily candle closes. we are at an area that has been resistance in the past, but I feel the overwhelming majority are buyers, and because of the structure we've broken, it makes sense. We just have to see how we approach the current highs of today, and if we create this 1 hour, which is going to close in like 13 minutes, if we create this 1 hour and that isn't closed beyond, then obviously I would expect it to go higher. I'm not looking to enter now; it's late on the day, but those were my three trades. At the time that I looked at Euro New Zealand, Euro Aussie, they were sideways. Um, they did eventually have a pot, strong bullish candle. Euro dollar was sideways for most of the day as well. Um, it had a decent drop. Pound dollar I didn't really look at today. It's just as well I haven't, because it's just basically gone sideways within a range. Euro Aussie, I felt as if it was very similar to Euro New Zealand. There's just no real momentum, and that's fine. Like you're going to get that at points within pairs. They're just going to be, they're either both weak currencies or both strong currencies, and there's just no real impetus to move in either direction. And obviously after dollar CAD making the lows, I felt as if, well, it could have some kind of consolidation period or pullback, because it had taken out the lows of yesterday. We'd had a decent impulse for a couple of hours, and we'd made a new low in the 4 hour as well. So it made sense that something was going to happen back to the upside. But I got the trade, and I was more than happy with that. So yeah, that is that's the kind of breakdown of the three trades, two wins and a loss. And yeah, I'm happy to enter on price. I'm happy to just take 1 hour and 4 hour areas, and using those, that then I can look at the 15 minute, I can look at the 5 minute, etc. But I'm like, well, this is what I want the 1 hour to close like now that I'm in this trade. This is how I want the next 1 hour to be. This is where my alerts are. I, I'm always I'm always kind of focusing on my trade management on the higher time frames, 15 minute, 1 hour. So that's why I'm happy to enter, because my stop loss is protected by, at the very least, something on the 1 hour. So that gives me that kind of breathing room to allow price to just do its thing and not have to be so caught up in every single little movement. All I can do is get in and then be like, right, this is how I want the 1 hour to close. And if it doesn't happen, then I have to reassess if my stop loss hasn't been hit, or if my first alert's hit and then it's not reacting the way that I want, I have to react again as well. But that's what I would suggest, is find the time frames that suit you, and then just utilize those time frames as well as you can to allow yourself to make the most of the trades, rather than trying to micromanage every single trade. If you're trading 1 minute, 5 minute, and your kind of average trade is between 15 minutes and 45 minutes, less than an hour, well, you have to look at the 15 minutes just as how I look at the 1 hour, in terms of what do you want the next 15-minute candle to be, how do you expect it to be, and if that doesn't happen, then you have to make a choice in order to make the trade work for you or not. You have to just cut your emotions out of it and just stick to the plan that you had before you entered the trade. And then if it doesn't go according to plan, you have to make the decisions to get rid of the trade. You can always re-enter. There's always another day, especially whenever you come to funding. You want to make sure that you're being strict with yourself, and you're not allowing yourself breathing room when that's not how you should be trading. So yeah, hope that's been useful.